How's everybody doing this evening? Hey, Cashmere. Hey, the boss. Yes, baby. This is gonna be a rabbit Grand Canyon. We got YouTubers in this one, y'all. Hey, Unique Melody. Hey, Domo says what? Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Yes. Say I don't smoke, but I got my hookah. Listen. Hey, Miss D. There are so many YouTubers reporting lies for the last few days. Oh my goodness. We got some YouTubers on the table today, y'all. Now, I'm pretty sure that you've seen it by now, but if you haven't, Ratchet TV, along with another female YouTuber, thank you, Brianna, verbally berated and assaulted Tissa Tails outside of the court, and it was ugly. And you know, I found it interesting how Tough TV, which I definitely unsubscribed to him today, and a few others decided that they wanted to run with the narrative that she was paid by the federal prosecution. Notice I said federal. And she was reporting lies for the federal prosecution. Because he said that and the dummy that was standing next to him decided to go along with it, you know, the do anything for clout team, they're going to be on the table today. Now, we're going to save Diddy because y'all know I've literally been covering Diddy for what, over a year. I was one of the first that told you that the feds and Homeland Security was coming for him, and they did. I told y'all that he was going to get locked up, and he is. Of course, you know, people were saying he was coming home. That was a lie. He got denied bail. So he did get charged with 2 of the 5 charges that were against him. The RICO, they didn't get, but he did get time. Now, the feds are still building the case. If y'all think the feds are done that easy, you got to be crazy. Because if you beat the feds once, you'll never beat them again. So expect them to keep on piling on cases on him while he is still incarcerated. So I'm going to hold Diddy until, you know, closer to the end. But let's see. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, get a few more of y'all in here. Said I hope he tells on Rock and Rock Master. Baby Pebble Nation is going to fall apart anyway. So I want to give, let's see. Excuse me, y'all, this lip gloss is doing a little bit much. Mac had it popping. Hey, Angry and Educated. Hey, Megan. Hey, Michaela. Hey, Komika. Said Tough TV has issues. I'm tired of him. Well, the fact that he actually named his video that, you know, like it was an expose, like he had proof. There was no proof. That was just her being verbally berated. So I will never watch him again. I unsubscribed immediately. Because as a man, how are you comfortable watching a woman be berated like that? Until there is facts, until there is some paperwork you can put on the table, there is no way that he should have said what he said in his title as if it was a fact. Hey, Vintage Peristyle Anna. Thank you, Bostress. And make sure y'all hit the like button and subscribe. Hey, Zoe. Hey, Haley. Hey, the Murphys. So, let's see. I'm going to give it one more minute because I want to be able to speak how I want to speak. Because, you know, you got to pass a certain time limit before you cuss or say anything adult-like. Hey Diddy, baby, how are you? Hey Simply Fee. So, how many of you are actually familiar with Ratchet TV? Hey Caribbean Tasha, baby, how are you? H Kitty 11, hey honey, how are you? Hey Miss Queen Star. Well, Brianna, I couldn't go with the bald head nails for too long. I couldn't do anything with them yesterday. I just lost a very dear friend to me. So yesterday was very emotional for me, and I needed to just be away from everybody because I didn't want to be out in public crying. Thank you. Thank you, Didi. Okay, so I'm seeing her, the name. A lot of you aren't really familiar. We're going to get familiar today. Thank you, Megan. I appreciate you. Thank you for the condolences, everybody. I appreciate every last one of you. When I was going through some, like, this is somebody that I grew up with. Like, we went to school together and everything. And when I was going through, some really tough times, like, and I told y'all about the people breaking into my house and all of that, he was one of the very few people who made sure that he checked on me all the time, made sure I had whatever I needed, and just overall great person. And he was like that for everybody. So, it's not just me. Like, we all felt like we lost our favorite cousin. Thank you, everybody. So, we're going to get off into Ratchet TV. For those of you that are familiar with his channel, I'm going to get you familiar with the Ratchet outside of YouTube. Um, the real life person, Greg, because that's his actual name. So I want you all to go over and watch the full video on Drill Time TV, and it's not spelled phonetically. Here we go. And as you can see, this is from 9 months ago. This is not new. This did not just this didn't just pick up this week. Hey, DS Raven. Yes, skinny dude. That's right. So we're gonna find out about Greg, better known to YouTube as Ratchet TV. And I want you to understand. Thank you, Michaela. I want you to understand this is the same man, the very same man who stood in front of a federal courthouse and yelled at Tissa in front of everyone, berated her, and literally verbally assaulted her. And that woman that was standing next to him, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, because you just went along with the narrative, not knowing who you were standing with and who you were supporting. I'm not saying I agree with Tissa on a lot of things, because there's times where I look at Tissa sideways myself, but she did not deserve the way she was treated out there in front of that court. And I'm going to show you exactly who this person is who took it upon himself to talk to her any kind of way. So for educational and news purposes, I'm going to show you this, and I want you all to go over to Drill Time TV, tell him Angel sent you, and watch his full content. Give him a like, because he did the work, and this is from 9 months ago. It took me a while to find it because it feels like they're trying to bury it in the algorithm, because I saw this last year and I couldn't remember what his name was. So shout out to Drill Time TV for this.
You want to talk about how you wanted to force me to have an abortion? And after I denied that, you wanted to beat me till that kid came out?
Damn, Greg, that's what we doing, cuz.
But she was the same calling my kid's father, talking about how my baby was not going to be born. He had me call my kid's father and turn around and tell him that I was pregnant and that the kid was not going to be born. When he turned around and told my kid's father that, he also stated he was going to actually go and have me taken to New Mexico to get an abortion. There was an argument between us that same time. Because I...
All right. So, I got to pause in between. Y'all hear what this woman said? She was pregnant by a whole nother man, her baby daddy. This man held her against her will, told her that baby was not going to be born, beat her, and even made her call her baby daddy, tell him the baby wasn't going to be born, and that he was going to take her to New Mexico to have a procedure done so that she would not have that baby. We're talking about Ratchet TV, sweetie. This was the guy who was outside of federal court today, yelling at Tissa Tails, accusing her of being paid by the federal prosecution. Now, I'm going to play this back because I want to make sure that y'all heard this correctly. I want y'all to know who this is that was berating her and verbally assaulting her in front of this federal court. Let's go back.
You want to talk about how you wanted to force me to have an abortion? And after I denied that, you wanted to beat me till that kid came out.
Damn, Greg, that's what we doing, cuz.
But she was the same calling my kid's father, talking about how my baby was not going to be born. He had me call my kid's father and turn around and tell him that I was pregnant and that the kid was not going to be born. When he turned around and told my kid's father that, he also stated he was going to actually go and have me taken to New Mexico to get an abortion. There was an argument between us that same time because I said that I didn't want to have an abortion. So when I said that I didn't want to have an abortion...
Sorry about that. Y'all don't have platinum. Come on now, Ernie.
He pushed me back into the cabinets. Like the bottom of the cabinets. Like on the bottom of the counter, the ones that open on the bottom. And my fucking back hit right in the middle. But he pushed me with both hands on my chest that I stayed bruised. And what did I do? Every time he struck me, I covered my belly. Because no matter how far along I was going to make sure you weren't going to get my baby.
Damn.
So, like I said, that came from Drill Time TV. The full video is 41 minutes and 1 second. So please go over to Drill Time TV to watch the full video. He shows, footage of the police coming out to the apartment. He shows the paperwork. As you can see, that was his actual mug shot. And this is the man who was out here yelling and screaming in Tissa's face. So I hope somebody shows that woman who was standing next to him, accusing her right along with him, who she's supporting. Because the way he was yelling at her, if Tissa didn't have security, he could have possibly did Tissa the same way he did this woman. He has several accusations against him of being violent. Yeah, Drill Time TV. Several accusations of being violent towards women. If I'm not mistaken, there's also an accusation of him being inappropriate with a teenager. So, I had to show you that so that you can understand. Yeah, he did the Mo3 case. You're absolutely right. Did a lot of coverage on rainwater. I needed y'all to see that so that you understand why I'm about to read this energy and why I wanted to tap into it. Oh, Haley, it's not over, babe. Y'all got to remember, Diddy has 120 cases that he is currently trying to avoid, that he's being sued for. Busby Law just dropped 3 more cases on him. One of those cases includes his son, Justin, and they're trying to say in this case, they're alleging that they spiked this young lady's drink and they did a gang essay. So he's not out of the water. He's not out of the water at all. He's facing 120 more cases. All of these cases have the propensity to actually become criminal cases. Sagittarius, what's so funny, sweetheart? Because it's kind of disturbing that you're laughing right now. I'm going to sit here and wait for your answer. You said about Diddy getting in trouble. Diddy's been in trouble. He's going to continue to be in trouble. I don't know why that was, the response as of right now. This is really not a laughing matter. Yeah, I don't think any of his charges are funny either. Especially not the one I just described with his son is involved. And that girl said that she was gang assaulted. There's nothing funny about that at all. Oh, it ain't gonna take much more to dry out his bank account, Haley. Yeah, that is a very disturbing lawsuit. And depending on how, the evidence comes out in that lawsuit, just like the Little Rod lawsuit, can also lead to federal prosecution as well, depending on what all is involved. So he's definitely not out of the water. You said Chicago, you can't follow the accent. Oh, you talking about Ratchet? No, baby, Ratchet's from Texas. That's right. The feds can't circle back. If you get past the feds once, I guarantee you won't get past them twice. They're not done. And see, now that they got him and he's going to be sitting down for a moment, they can keep coming back with more charges, more cases, more cases, more cases. And because some of these cases are outside of, the state of New York, or they may be state but not federal, he could be, found guilty for state charges, and then when he finishes in New York or whatever facility that they shave him to, they can send him to another one. Let's see, whoever you are, you can go. Because I don't know why you're here. Thank you, Austin, baby. Let that multiply in your household tenfold. So yeah, it's definitely a whole lot more to what's going on. Let me see. All right, let's get off into Ratchet TV. Yeah, I'm glad his bail was denied as well. Said, what you think Jay feeling about the verdict with this snake ass Spiro threw Diddy under the bus? He should be nervous because he doesn't have much more time before he starts facing some very interesting cases himself. Oh, baby, don't worry about apologizing for being late. We're just about to start getting off into some things. So let's tap into Ratchet TV and what energy is to come now that he's made these accusations in front of this federal court. Excuse me, I won't cut this ringer off. Now that he's made these accusations in front of this federal court, thank you, Frosty. Yes, cool guy. We're going to keep him to the very end. We're opening with the YouTubers that were verbally assaulting Tissa Tails in front of the federal court. Alrighty. Show me the energy around Ratchet TV. Show me the energy around Ratchet TV. Hey, Cat Eyes, baby. How are you? So, here it is. It was his wish fulfillment, 9 of Cups, to overpower her in this moment, the Strength card. And this is like, he felt, you know, allegedly, he felt drunk with power in this moment. Yeah, 3 of Cups, you know, this is the card of, you know, gossip, being jovial, gathering YouTubers to come with him to bring it in to Tissa. That, like, this was his alleged energy. Okay, can you see me now? Okay. Okay. So you can see me now. Good, 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 good. Well, you know we about to get off into some things when they get to messing with my chat, y'all. Okay, I see everybody's coming back in swiftly. Okay, good, 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 good. So I don't know where it left off, but I'm going to go all the way back through this row so I can re-describe it now that y'all are back in here. So, starting off with the 9 of Cups, which means this was a wish fulfillment for him to come after her. The 3 of Cups, he wanted people talking about this. He wanted this to trend. He wanted it to be in the algorithm. He also allegedly gathered other people to come with him to do this. The Empress represents abundance and being able to bring things into fruition. Also, what he brought into fruition is a catastrophe, because we got the Tower here with the 8 of Swords, which means this could actually result in jail time for him. Y'all look at the troll. Little Jay said he can see I'm bald headed. That means you're blind. Okay, welcome to the family. Four of coins in the reverse. This is definitely going to backfire on him. Now we're going to see if that four of coins means that she's going to possibly sue him for what he did to her. Um, Knight of coins means that this could drag out. He may even try to clout chase this even further, which is going to prove her point that he's harassing her. Eight of wands in the reverse. So he put a lot of thought off into this, but I'm telling y'all, it looks like this is going to backfire on him because he has a history, as I showed y'all at the beginning of this live. He has a history of being accused of putting his hands on women. Thank you, Daphne C. The wounded warrior. Okay? Now, we're going to go from there now that I went through and re-explained all the cards. Miss LaDon, we're talking about Ratchet TV, the YouTuber that berated Tissa Tails in front of the Diddy trial when they were doing their, everybody was doing their commentary outside the court. That's right, Empress Love Love. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. And y'all may not know this, but this lion here is Deuteronomy 28:13. I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. So ain't nothing they can do to stop me from putting the messages out. So, how many of you saw the video that I was showing you at the beginning? Once again, shout out to Drill Time TV because he did the research. His video is from 9 months ago. This is not, new information. He actually did the research, found all of the information with the ex-girlfriend, found his mugshot, and, made it public knowledge that this man has an issue with how he deals with women. This is why I decided to pick this up. Like I said, Tough TV, I unsubscribed today because he blatantly gave a title to his video as if he had undeniable proof that Tissa Tails actually was colluding with the prosecution and being paid by the prosecution to report false information. No one has showed any proof of any such said thing. Now, I'm going to read until this table gets filled up. And I think that his biggest mistake not just was coming for Tissa Tails, but he made a very strong allegation that the prosecution was paying people to put out false narratives. You cannot make such a claim against federal prosecution, i.e. the state of New York, without having undeniable evidence. You said King AK spoke on Ratchet TV a while back in his late live. Interesting. Yeah, South Palm Meat. They literally said, him and the woman who was standing next to him, I don't have her name. Like I said, she ought to be ashamed of herself because you aligned yourself with the man that has issues with putting his hands on women, and he has mugshots for this very behavior. Anybody want to see the video again? For those of you who didn't see it, we're only going to watch a snippet. Everybody go over to Drill Time TV. Shout out to him for doing the work. The video is 41 minutes and 1 second. Give him the full watch so that you can see everything in its full entirety for his research. Alrighty, so for information and commentary purposes, fair use. We're going to look at his information. Everybody go over, tell him Angel sent you. And much love to him for doing the work. This video is from 9 months ago.
You want to talk about how you wanted to force me to have an abortion? And after I denied that, you wanted to beat me till that kid came out?
Damn, Greg, that's what we doing, cuz.
But she was the same calling my kid's father, talking about how my baby was not gonna be born. He had me call my kid's father and turn around and tell him that I was pregnant and that the kid was not gonna be born. When he turned around and told my kid's father that, he also stated he was gonna actually go and have me taken to New Mexico to get an abortion. There was an argument between us that same time because I said that I didn't want to have an abortion.
Hold on, y'all.
So when I said that I didn't want to have an abortion, he pushed me back into the cabinets. Like the bottom of the cabinets, like on the bottom of the counter, the ones that open on the bottom. And my fucking back hit right in the middle. But he pushed me with both hands on my chest that I stayed bruised. And what did I do? Every time he struck me, I covered my belly. Because no matter how far along I was going to make sure you weren't going to get my baby.
Damn.
So that's all I'm going to show. Please give the full watch to Drill Time TV. That video is from 9 months ago. That is not recent. This is the man who was outside yelling at Tissa Tails. Said, Angel, are you speaking of Lovely T? No, baby, not Lovely T. He was yelling at Tissa Tails. Tissa had like a metal like partition that sectioned her off from everybody with her own security. And he kept going up to her, yelling at her, and he brought a female YouTuber with him. I don't know that woman's name, but like I said, shame on you for going over there with that man, spewing those lies, talking about this woman was being paid by the federal prosecution to put out lies on Diddy when neither one of you had any paperwork. You're accusing her of lying, but you had no paperwork. Thank God Tissa had security, because that man is unhinged. Is something wrong with you when you will sit up there and yell at someone like that, practically threatening that person? Absolutely, utterly ridiculous. Said Lovely T left when he started screaming at Tissa. I could understand why she didn't want to be there, but it felt like, just like, you know, they came outside to arrest Remy Ma, somebody should have came outside to arrest him. Now, Lovely T, if you were in the paint with her, you should have stayed in the paint with her. And if you left, you should have left to go and get federal security, one of those officers, to come back outside to make sure she was protected. Because that had been really messed up if he had to put his hands on her after you left. Especially bottom of the deck, the wounded warrior. And we know he has allegations of wounding people in the past. Now, this woman was his ex-girlfriend. This isn't some woman that, he just met, didn't know. She was pregnant, and he literally would not let her leave and told her that she could not have this other man's baby, and that he was either going to attack her to get it out of her, according to her account, or he was going to make her go to have a procedure done to have that baby removed from her body. You said Lovely T hugged him. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Baby, I don't know where the mods are, but we gonna keep it moving. Now that we know this was a wish fulfillment for him to make her feel this way, to do this to her out in public, let's go a little deeper. Now, I just showed y'all this video. Look at the energy that's coming up. The Lovers, the Ten of Wands, somebody being put in a situation that's too much for them to bear. So even with this accusation, well, he did get arrested for this. So even with this accusation, it feels like this is something that he actually enjoys doing. Why does he like to strike fear in women? What is this? Why does he like to strike fear in women? Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Pentacles. So, y'all, he thought that this was going to drive his numbers up. This was going to make him a lot of money. I don't know if he's trying to get into her level of subscribership. Did the complete opposite. I mean, just because she's been on the wrong side of history before doesn't mean that he had the right to behave this way. I said it myself in the beginning. I don't agree with all of the stuff that Tissa Tails says and does. I don't. But I will not agree with a man that has a violent history, yelling and berating a woman who is doing the same type of work he does. He can make her his content, but he does not have to be verbally vicious towards her in a way to where you have to worry about her safety. What would he have done if she didn't have security? That's why I showed y'all that video of his ex-girlfriend and what he was willing to do to her while she was pregnant. And this was somebody he was supposed to care about. Now, it looks like he thought, like I said, this was going to get people in the algorithm talking. This was going to get people to, run up the numbers. This was going to get more work for him. So Tissa may be wrong or wacky, but I've never heard her speak bad on someone. Even if she did, we've never seen her run up on somebody and verbally attack them. That's where I draw the line. He verbally assaulted her, and if she did not have security with his history of what he's been accused of, what would he have done? Oh, you said no, Lovely T is who I was talking about. Okay. I didn't get to see Lovely T's part, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it. But to know that she could leave her standing by herself in such a vile moment and she didn't go and get security or police or anything like that. And to read in my chat that you're saying that Lovely T hugged this lunatic, that makes me look at Lovely T in a whole new light. Because why would you hug someone who behaves like this? Why would you side with someone who is out there literally tearing this woman down and making all these accusations about her? It's like you got your 15 minutes, so now you're gone. You don't care about what happened to her. That's real messed up. And me and her got the same birthday? No, thank you. Wow, so she hugged him and said she ain't have a problem with him. Well, I got a problem with her. I got a big problem with her. Because as a woman, how can you have how can you physically not be repulsed by a man who's behaving like this and hug him and say you ain't got no problem with him? So will you not have a problem with him when he pull up on you and do you the same way and you got to run to your damn car and make sure you got security? Yeah, me and her got the same birthday. But she's kicked out of Leo gang as far as I'm concerned. Because the way that he behaved, the least you could have done on your way to wherever you were going was tipped off security and say, hey, listen, I'm kind of worried about what's going on over there. Can you go check on her? That doesn't take much. So they do anything for money. I hate her wigs. Listen, when it comes to me, it's certain things that money can't buy. It's certain things that money can't buy. This is one of them. I don't know who you are, but that's one of the dumbest comments I've read in a long time. You can't run with those owl nails. Am I supposed to be running with my hands? See, that's what I talk about, y'all, when I tell y'all people eat crayons. That's definitely somebody who grew up eating paint chips. Yes, that Leos are bosses. That was a weak move that T did. That was worse than weak. That was flatline. And just like I unsubscribed to Tough TV, I'll unsubscribe to her. I know she doesn't care, whatever. But things like this literally come down to character. I don't respect your character. That you could leave that woman in that moment, that's one thing. But you hug the person that is berating her and say you ain't got a problem with them. I got a problem with you. You're less than a woman. And you're raising boys. What are you teaching your sons if you can watch a man treat a woman like that? Hug that. First of all, let's not even call him a man, because real men don't behave like that. You can hug a guy who berates a woman to the point to where she has to have her security back him up. What are you teaching your sons if you can go hug someone like that and say you ain't got a problem with them? Is it okay if your sons talk to women like that? That's a character issue. That's horrible character. And see, karma catches up to people who have character flaws like that. You said her sons may talk to her like that. I don't know. I hope not. I pray not. But I no longer respect her as a person. Because you can say, okay, well, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I need to get out of here. But to go and hug him and to make him feel comfortable when he's acting a tyrannical fool? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Zero respect. I never respect her again as a person. Not even as a YouTuber, as a person. That's trash. But let's keep going, y'all. That ain't even about being a girl's girl. Just point blank, period. That's trash. Yeah. So, y'all, it feels like people behind the scenes work together to cause this unfortunate situation for Cups the Moon. This was secretly orchestrated. And I felt like there was some kind of orchestration to it, because how did everybody know that he was coming around the corner and know when to have their cameras ready? Where did he find those other people to come with him? You said everyone's tensions are high. I don't watch Lovely T's content, but I'm not comfortable with talking about her sons. This ain't talking about her sons. Point blank, period. Like I said, what does she teach her sons? Y'all got to know how to separate the two. I didn't say a word about her sons. I said, what does she teach her sons? You're raising young men. What are you teaching your sons if you can stand there and watch a man treat a woman like that and then go hug that man? That ain't about her sons. That's about her character. There's a huge difference there. And I stand on what I said, and I said what I said, and I'm not backing down off of it. I wish I would see a man treat a woman like that and be okay with it. Especially a woman that I made myself friendly with, stood over here and did content with, and then I go hug the man who mistreated her, and then I gotta go back with the young men in my family that I'm supposed to be teaching to be upright people. Absolutely not. I may not have sons, but I've raised half the children in my family. I have nephews. I have great nephews, and I even helped to raise their children. I would never stand there and watch a man treat a woman like that and then go hug that man, make him feel at home, make him feel comfortable, and then go back home to the young men whose life that I'm in, as if that is something that is supposed to be comfortable and common. Absolutely not. No. It's something wrong with that character, and I stand on that. Not taking it back. But like I said, it looks like this was secretly orchestrated. But this is going to lead to a tower, because this tower to the Eight of Swords, some people can be expecting law enforcement to be getting in touch with them soon. No, I'm not taking it back. I ain't taking shit back. I said what I said. That's the problem. People got to start standing on what they say. She was wrong to stand there and hug that man after how he behaved. She didn't have to agree with it, but to hug him afterwards, no ma'am. You said I got the justice card. See what I'm talking about? DOJ. Some people are going to get some phone calls. They're going to be contacted by law enforcement because this happened on federal grounds. See this? Ace of Coins, collaboration that could lead to people facing prison time. You said dumb move on his part. Well, see, he wasn't by himself. That I don't know the woman's name who was standing next to him, but she was just as wrong as he was, because she went right on over there with him and she pushed that narrative and had no idea that she was supporting someone who has a violent history towards women. All these people thought this was funny, but they won't be laughing for too much longer. Yeah. Four of Swords. You should have brought this to a close. You should have ended it. It's an unrequited offer. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Y'all, don't be surprised you start hearing about people losing pages, people facing criminal investigations, people having to sit down with the feds or the prosecution office themselves. NYC 443, you need to go to an adult site. Let me help you on your way. There you go. Get you right on up out of here. You see. Let's see. There you go, Tarot Destiny. Let's see, did it? Okay, yep, there you go. Yeah, I saw Armand pouring the oil on himself. Like, do y'all have any dignity? Like, once again, thank you, Tarot Destiny. Yeah, the sun here, falling under the Knight of Coins. And see, look at this. Remember, he wanted to expose that she allegedly was getting paid by federal prosecution. So he called himself exposing how she was making money, but it's going to be exposed how he makes money and what type of money he actually has. And that can happen if she decides to, sue him. Said I'll be, he said I'll be wanting the rich too, and get these weirdos up out of here. Listen, said Lovely T was standing there recording him laughing. What triggered me is the fact that she hugged him. You worked right alongside with her. You were fine getting content with her. If you decided to leave because it was too much going on, okay. But to hug that man and say that you have nothing to do with it is crossing the line. Why would you hug someone like that? Said I've asked multiple times. Well, how about I make a few of you mods? Hold on. There we go. This happened on several people's channels. All the YouTubers that were over there while all of this was happening, all were going live, and they all decided to pretty much keep their channels going so that they could all get content. But here's my thing. Where do you draw the line on content versus watching what could possibly be, a very, very dark moment? Thank God he didn't put his hands on her. No weapons came out, but nobody knew how far that would go. Nobody had an idea how far that would go. Right, said he was incriminating himself. Said he literally harassed and verbally assaulted that woman. Yes, he did. I believe it had to be brewing, and it looks like it was when you got the Empress to the Moon. It was like somebody was secretly planning to do this. You're welcome, Miss Ladon. Somebody was secretly planning to do this for a while, and they were gathering people to help them to do this. Oh, baby, I didn't take it as you trying to be rude. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. But the tower coming out of this is everybody who thought that this was funny, everybody who somehow, some way took a part in this, they need to lawyer up. Yeah. So here it is. Him being very aggressive towards the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is like, the spokeswoman of the deck. And him being very fiery and aggressive towards her. It's going to come out that whatever he was accusing her of was not the lie that he was saying that it was. And like I said, I don't agree with a lot of things that Tissa says. So don't think I'm here just jumping up and down doing backflips for Tissa. I'm her biggest fan. That is actually not true, because there's things that she's said and done about Tory that I totally don't agree with. And when there's times to update information or show that there's more court proceedings happening, she won't do it because it doesn't fit her original narrative. The whole thing with Jeezy and Remy Ma, she never did upgrade that story either to show that Jeezy actually got full custody of that child. So I'm not going to sit here and say that Tissa don't, play on both sides. I won't say that. But what I will say is what he did was totally uncalled for, and it needs to be dealt with. Hey, Millie the Mystic, how are you, beautiful? So I'm the type, I'm gonna call it down the middle. I'm not gonna sit here and just side with one and throw the other one under the bus. I'm gonna be honest on both sides. That's right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. What he did was totally egregious. We're Mystic Millie, we're tapping into the ruckus that was outside of the federal court today with Diddy, with Ratchet TV, and how he verbally berated and assaulted Tissa Tails in front of everybody. Simply Fee, it does look like he could end up being sued, but what I'm looking at is this is beyond him being sued by Tissa. They're going to pull him in for questioning. They actually could, catch up to him and hold him federally. And because he did this on the location of a federal business, he's going to have some explaining to do. Also, you made a very serious claim towards the state of New York, the federal prosecutors, stating that they were paying vloggers. Oh, thank you, baby. Let this be multiplied in your household tenfold. Uh-oh. Yeah, he made a very, very strong statement stating, him and another YouTuber, that she was paid by the federal prosecution to spew lies on Diddy. Now, it's one thing to say that she lied. You can even say that's subjective. You can say she bent the truth. But when you say that the federal prosecution colluded with a YouTuber to put out false information and that they paid her to do so, you better have proof. Where is your paperwork? Where is the trail from the federal government to her bank account where you can show a digital footprint? Where did you get that information from, and can you prove it? If you cannot prove it, sir, you just put yourself in a hell of a damn rabbit hole that you will not be able to get out of. Said, when did he dox the victim? I don't know anything about him doxing a victim. What I'm saying is he accused Tissa Tails of colluding with the federal government, the federal prosecution, the state of New York, to give out false information. So if he's saying that, where's the paper trail and can it be proven? You can't say things like that and include the federal government without having the paper trail. He's gonna have to show that paper trail, because not only can she say that that's defamation of character, the federal government can now come after him. Oh, thank you, Gwen. Let this be manifested back into your house tenfold. Thank you, Miss Keisha. So yeah, he's gonna have to prove this, that she colluded with the federal government. Because he's saying that she was paid, not that somebody talked to her in the lunchroom and gave her information and she went outside and said it. He said she was paid. Where is your proof? What receipts do you have? Do you have copies of banking records? Where did you get this from? And then the person that was stupid enough to stand next to him and help him spew the same thing. You're going to be caught up too. People got to get out of this do anything for clout, do anything to go viral type energy. Because when you try to go viral off of making a claim against the federal government, please believe the federal government will get the last laugh. So here we go, people. And I'm telling y'all, from what I see, allegedly, it looks like this was planned and orchestrated, and they all came out there knowing that he was going to do this. Yeah. So while he's accusing her of taking money, because here it is, Six of Pentacles, accusing somebody of taking money, you brought her heartbreak by saying this. Sir, you're definitely going to have to prove this. Just making the accusation, well, I said she lied, is not good enough when you added the federal government to what you said. Would you say, hi, Blackie? Yo, backwards ass mammy, let's get you up out of here. Your parents probably cousins anyway. Yeah. This was all for an opportunity. Everybody thought that they were going to trend. Everybody thought that they were going to, make money off of this. This was going to go off into the algorithm. Yeah, we're going to humble her. This is going to be global news. Yeah. Look at this. Six of Wands. Move forward victoriously. Yeah, since she like to make money lying, we all going to make money coming down on her. The Tree of Life. So yeah, all of them linked together like a chain link fence, because they thought an opportunity was going to come out of this. Three of Wands. This was going to be their big moment. But Tarot Destiny, remember what you pulled earlier? Boom. The Justice card. Folks need to get ready for those phone calls and that contact from the DOJ. They need to get ready. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Excuse me, Five of Cups, rather. Public humiliation, disgrace, regret, remorse. See, they wanted to give her this energy and to publicly tear her down, ridicule her, ruin her in front of everybody, and make money while doing it. Everybody was thinking about how this was going to turn their channels up, how this was going to get them further into the algorithm. They were going to make All this money, oh, but baby, all money ain't good money because you're going to need that money for a legal team. Not a lawyer, a legal team. It's a difference. And see, this is what he didn't expect. The wounded warrior, the empress, the moon. Yes, baby. Remember, I just showed y'all that footage about the pregnant woman that, you know, said that he put hands on her, was going to knock her baby out of her stomach. I'm not making that up. He said that. Well, she said that rather. This came out of her mouth. This was her account. So, let me cover up her little tarot boobs. We've got the Temperance here, which means that this wasn't the first time that they've been together. This was like him trying to get back with her. The truth is going to start coming out about him and this woman and him putting his hands on this woman. And that's going to be a tower because people are going to start pulling up his old record, all of the things that he used to do, public school English, all the things that he used to do. And this is going to hit his pockets and it's going to mess his money up. So he wanted her to become like the butt of the joke so that everybody could make money off of this. They could all trend. They could turn it up and get extra subscribers. But this is going to hurt his money. He can look out and expect to be hearing from law enforcement, possible lawsuits coming, losing everything he got financially, and possibly going to jail. And the little minion that was standing next to him, baby, you got it coming too. So, oh, Angel said, did you hear that one of Diddy's kids asked where was Tissa after the verdict? You see what I'm talking about? Now, why would his children be stupid enough to publicly ask where was Tissa after the verdict, and then you go out here and turn up on her? Now, you're talking about she got paid by the DOJ, the prosecution. But who paid you? Did you get paid? Did one of his children give you an incentive to go over there and do the most? Let's find out. Was Ratchet TV and the Ratcheteers paid to go over here and harass Tissa Tails? Ratchet TV and the Ratcheteers, were you paid to go and harass Tissa Tails? Oh, and that fell down face first. Nine of Swords, wanted to strike fear in her heart, wanted to give her anxiety, have her on her toes so she doesn't sleep, wanted to cause her public humiliation, regret, shame, remorse. But here's where it gets funny, sir. If you were supposed to be offered something, it looks like you're not going to get it. And it's going to take so long to get to you that you pretty much worked for nothing if you did. I agree, Kimmy said those kids are sheltered and slow, especially Christian, the twin. Y'all, Seven of Pentacles. Who invested? Seven of Pentacles is a card of investment. Who invested in this toxic behavior? The devil. We ended up in a rabbit hole, y'all. Ratchet, who sent you over there? Who sent you and the Ratcheteers over there? Right. I agree, Millie the Mystic said, thank God the judge didn't give him bail. He is a menace. Yep. Who sent you over there, Ratchet? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. High Priestess. Palace of Swords. This looks like someone who's locked up secretly may have gotten in touch with some folks. And put in a request, allegedly. Now I see why the feds are going to be contacting people. Now I see why the feds are going to be contacting people. You really are not that bright. You really are not that bright. And with the history that you got, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. You are the perfect candidate to crash out because you got a history that is unsavory with women. Oh. They picked the perfect crash out, the perfect test dummy. This feels like, and I gotta say allegedly, because y'all know everything I say on Wednesdays is allegedly. This feels like someone who is behind bars that is on their way to federal bars asked for a secret favor. This person thought that they were going to go here, this opulent home, but no, they told you, you got to go straight into processing. This do anything for clout generation is going to end up literally destroying themselves. And look at what's going to happen here, y'all. While you sitting up here doing the most, look at this. The 10 of Cups, the family. 8 of Cups, they get to walk away and act like they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Even though you got this huge moon here that represents secrets that we may never know. So allegedly it looked like one of those young men got a hold of you, got you to do them a solid, and then walked off so that they wouldn't be present when it happened, so they couldn't be tied to the situation. They would be somewhere in a vehicle or on their way home or possibly at home watching from their device, just like all of us, and they could pretend like they ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Welcome to the Rabbit Hole University. And also, it looks like no sooner they got you to do it. Look at this. This wealthy man The opportunity he thought he was going to have got cut off. Oh, thank you, Serena. Bless you. Let this be multiplied and sent back into your household times 10. So, everybody took a L. Everybody took a L but Tissa. Y'all cussing at her didn't do anything but change her tax bracket for the better and yours for the worse. And now, that money that you bragged about, how you got money, you paid, good luck with that. Because now you're about to be the topic of discussion. And people are going to come for you in a way that you don't expect. Lord. See, when you got secrets yourself that you don't want to get out because you've been accused of some of the exact same behavior as the diddler, you should be the last one to stand up and say and do anything that is considered to be, you know, vile, violent, repulsive. Ooh. Folks gonna learn. You better start thinking for yourself. Stop being a part of the go along to get along gang. You said that's crazy. You said that because they said that Diddy's god brother was looking for Tissa. Now ain't that about nothing? Somebody said a son looking for her, god brother looking for her. Why would y'all be looking for Tissa? There's all types of YouTubers out there. She's not the only one reporting on this. She's the only one make y'all feel some type of way. Sounds very cowardly to me that women are being looked for by men, but those same men ain't gonna say nothing to the men that's outside. Gene Deal been saying what he been saying for years. Y'all ain't looking for Gene? Why y'all ain't looking for Gene? Oh, y'all like soft targets. Y'all like pretty light-skinned women that y'all figure, you know, she don't break her nails. She's never been in a scuffle. She'll cry if you get loud with her. Y'all like those type, right? But I yet to see any of y'all run down on Gene. And there was somebody who tried, and allegedly, according to the Curb, because you know, word on the Curb said that that person got knocked out and knocked down. And then that person came outside and decided to cuss out the little white reporter in the front of the courthouse. Once again, why? Because you knew that man was not a fighter, and he was just there doing his job. Would you say Southpaw Meek was my Cash App? It is the exact same as the name of the channel. $ Angel Kisses the Oracle. And whatever gets sent to me, I thank you in advance and God bless you. I can't stand a coward. Can't stand them. Type of men won't bust a grape when it comes to a man. You won't step to a man that can give you that 1-2, but you can run up on a woman that you figure will cry. Cowards. Every last one of you. Right, said, but ran when he saw Tupac. Come on now. And Tupac wasn't that big of a guy, but I mean, that lets you know how big his energy was. Ran from DMX as well. Let's not forget that. DMX had a few of them shook. Yes. Wanted to take this in a new direction. Yeah, you took this in a new direction, got real fiery, did the most, and now it's a tower because you literally have to speak to the authorities. Yeah, and authorities want to get down to the truth about this rumor about the money and them allegedly paying. All right, can y'all see me? There we go. They've been messing with my internet. Ah, somebody feels sensitive. They're messing with my internet, y'all. And thank you for the Cash App. I did get it. Ah! You know they get mad when they start messing with your internet. Now I already told on y'all for hacking me. Yeah, them hit dogs is hurt. They haven't messed with my life like this in a while. That's all right though. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep going. Everybody come on back in. Now, I want to say, where was I at? Oh yeah, they gonna get to the truth. You said my voice is not matching? I don't know what they doing, but we gonna keep going. We gonna get to the truth about this financial exchange that you accuse the state of New York about. This is also gonna be a tower for the diddler because they want to investigate to see if it's attached to them. Oh, this is what I was saying, y'all, before they started messing with my internet. Something that I noticed that I just thought about. This is real stupid, and I'm going to tell you why. When you are in a downtown metropolitan area or around a federal building, you are filmed in every direction. There is no creek or crevice that you can be on outside of a federal building that is not filmed at all times. Depending on how close to the building you are, it can be mic'd up. So if these people are outside of the building speaking to people, telling people to go over there and handle something for me, if they're within at least 3 feet of each other, let alone standing next to each other having a full-blown conversation, all of that will be found when they go and check all of that footage. And they're going to know who was outside colluding with who. See, they messing with my internet because they don't want to talk about this. You can't pop a pimple on a rat's ass outside of a federal building and it not be seen. Isaiah, we're talking about the YouTubers that came for Tissa Tails outside of the court. Right, or in the building. But see, I want y'all to understand. If you remember the movie Enemy of the State with Will Smith, think about the technology that they showed you in that movie all those years ago, where they can zoom in 4 or 8K and literally count the hairs on your head. We're talking about outside of a federal building. What do you think the resolution is on those videos? And depending on how close to the building you are, what do you think the probability of the building being mic'd up is? People are very, 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 very unintelligent in this situation. Some of this stuff you can't even do outside of a fast food restaurant without them having footage. So you mean to tell me y'all did all of this outside of a federal building and it didn't cross your mind? All the footage they have on all 4 corners of that building, from the building and from across the street. Definitely not smart. And then you accused the federal prosecution, the state of New York, of colluding with a YouTuber by paying her to give false narratives on behalf of the state of New York. And you and your little minion that stood next to you, y'all said this with y'all chests. Looks like they're going to want to come see about that. They're going to want you to say that to their face. They're going to want to know where'd you get that from. They're going to want to know, how did you come to that conclusion? What are you going to say when they tell you to say that with your chest? Under oath in an interrogation room. When you become content while creating content, and then the new content will be, did you catch a case? Let's find out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is about to get real serious, y'all. You got the King of Swords here that's going to look into this. They may want to, see if she wants to, stay at a safe house or whatnot, because it looks like she may have gotten death threats. And, people harassing her verbally. And they're not going to take this as a joke. Said, how is Diddy considered innocent but Tory is guilty? Make it make sense. Baby, I can't make that make sense. Said, is he even from the state of NY? Because if not, they're going to teach his ass and he will learn. No, he's not from the state of NY, sweetheart. He is from the good old state of Texas. If I'm not mistaken, I think like the Fort Worth, Dallas area. Hey Janella, we're talking about the YouTubers that verbally assaulted and berated Tissa Tails outside of the federal court. Ratchet TV had a ratchet moment, and I guess this was for him to go viral and get his channel up, but he got the eyes of the federal government. Now, I don't think he wanted that. Him and the people who came over there with him. Yeah. Palace of Swords to the Palace of Wands. Two of Wands. Yeah, they're going to want to know exactly, like I said, where did he get this information from? Who all he talked to? How many YouTubers were involved in this? And see, there were YouTubers that have been harassing and doing things, colluding together. I don't know if this is just for Tissa Tails, but I'm just saying in general. They wanted to close this case before they get to really looking off into it, because they wanted to focus on the case and get the case out of the way. But those YouTubers are going to start being contacted. Yeah, they're going to start being contacted. Yeah, said he was so ignorant, just kept getting louder and louder. Well, I'm glad he did, because now there's proof that he verbally assaulted her and was very, 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 very tyrannical. Said trying to get attention, but attracted the kind that you don't want. No, nobody wants this attention. And the family is that he's out there doing all of this for, they're going to turn away from this and say, well, we didn't have anything to do with that. He's speaking on his own recognizance. That has nothing to do with us. Yeah, Four of Cups. This is going to be really, really hard for these YouTubers. They're going to feel humiliated. They're going to feel let down. Um, Seven of Swords. Some people are about to be exposed. And see, when the state or the federal government gets involved in looking into things for you, they take their time. They comb over things. They look over every single nook and cranny. They don't want to miss anything. Right, said Tissa is respected by CNN, NBC, and Nancy Grace. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That could actually work on her behalf because Ratchet TV, I see you being exposed for this situation with the baby mama that you want to keep secret, with her being the wounded warrior attached to this situation with the child. They're gonna dig in your ass. Yes, sir. And they're gonna find arrest records. They're gonna find all types of stuff about you, and with you bragging about your money, I hope everything is on the up and up because they're going to look into that too. See, you kept calling her a liar. And like I said, I'm not here to cheerlead for Tissa because I can call it down the middle. There's been things that Tissa has said and done that I just do not agree with. Several things. But this right here, I can't stand for it. So I wanted to see what was actually going on. And all of these people, honey, y'all signed up for something that y'all don't want. I mean, this right here, this is something that you don't want. So will new info come out before Diddy sentencing? What it looks like is they're trying to keep things quiet because what they're going to do is go out and talk to whoever is over security. They're going to triangulate where everybody was at outside. They're going to identify these faces. They're going to do facial recognition. They're going to run those faces to see who these people are. Okay? And then here it is. If you're getting paid, especially on YouTube, that means you had to turn over all your information so that you could be monetized. Because Google has to know who you are legally before they can pay you. So when they do all this facial recognition, triangulate all these people, see how they know each other, and they look you up to find out where you're from, cross-reference anything in the DMV where you come from to see what your charges have been in the past, if you've had any fraud, you didn't turn in a library book. Baby, they're going to get down to all of that, but they're going to do it secretly. So by the time they contact you, they know everything about you. They're just waiting to see if you lie. Said reading lips have not heard. That's right. And they have analysts for that. But depending on how close they were to the building, I guarantee you something was mic'd up. Especially since 9/11. Huh? Palace of Cups, Two of Cups. Y'all, this is falling under the Two of Swords. Now, who was actually colluding with who? Who is colluding with who? Because Palace of Cups, and then you got the family over here. This looks like the Diddler's house. Two of Cups, like soulmates working together. Laverne and Shirley, tighter than pantyhose, two sizes small. But this falls under the Two of Swords. That means somebody's going to cut off all communication And this is where people start getting disappointed, because you did all of this for what? The very people that you are defending are not going to defend you. They're going to say you did this on your own. Said to act a fool on federal court grounds is insane. Right. Federal court grounds. Casinos are considered federal grounds. Certain places you just do not do the most. You just don't. Because it's different charges. It's different things that you have to face when you're somewhere where there's a federal repercussion. Airports as well, that's right. Anywhere where there's gaming, airports, federal courts, IRS office, anything like that. The VA, anything to do with the VA, Social Security, the post office, baby, don't do it. Yeah. Thought that this was going to bring you new business, but it brought you shame, humiliation, regret. Publicly. Yeah, that video is enough. And we're talking about multiple videos from multiple angles, because you had YouTubers from all around the world out there. Let's not forget that YouTubers literally were flying in from across the world just to be here for the verdict. Look at this, the fool. You jumped off the porch, made a fool of yourself, calling yourself trying to defend someone. 7 of Wands. Not thinking about anything that you got going on with your own criminal history and how this was going to backfire on you. Yeah, he wanted a moment. Baby, he got one too. He got one. Yep. Oh, look now. I just said who paid who. Who paid who? Would you say they watched this channel enough to know that he is a crash out and that's why he was used? That sounds about right to me. Good assessment. Said, I love the way the judge used his attorney's own words against him. Yep. It said the attorney had to say if he was up for DV, then we would have pled guilty, bail denied. Now look, remember I said he made a fool out of himself defending somebody. Here you go, 7 of Wands. Defending somebody over what you claim was the truth. But watch this, y'all. Watch this. 10 of Pentacles. How did the 10 of Pentacles get here? Page of Swords. Page of Swords means somebody who's being watched or video. So somebody paid you allegedly to do something publicly that would be seen by everybody possible. You know, embarrassment globally. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly. To bring somebody down and bring them to an end. But y'all picked the wrong one. Yeah. Messages coming in swiftly. Very, very dark, negative messages. Like I said, this woman has had threats on her life. People possibly calling down to the courthouse saying all types of stuff. They're looking into every last one of those phone calls, emails, and this whole situation with these antics today in front of the courthouse. All of that's being looked into. Don't think one case is going to be left out. Thank you, dog mom. Yeah. So the message went back as soon as y'all did all of this. And they were already investigating other possible threats against her. Because it looks like she's had threats against her life. So there's already y'all, this looks like it's already a federal investigation that was already going anyway. Y'all getting added to an active investigation that was already underway? Oh. So he was making jokes with Diddy in court. Wow. Said, weren't some of the YouTubers jumping up and down, rubbing baby oil like fools? Armand. Yeah, there's already an active investigation already started, y'all. Oh, it won't take any time to look into this. It's already happening. They already had a federal investigation going because people were already threatening her and putting threats against her life. He said the judge was making jokes with Diddy in court. That's in poor taste. But ain't that about nothing? The same judge making jokes with you told you can't go home? Y'all? Said the feds will bring more charges against the diddler. Come on, Isaiah. Say that out loud for the ones in the back. This whole July gonna be hot like fire, baby. Look at this. The strength, which represents July, the emperor. So this is like someone who has lots of authority as well. Y'all, so whoever possibly orchestrated this, they're now getting into it with one another because this was so messy and off-putting that it shined a light on people that shouldn't even be seen. Yeah, said this ain't over for him. He thinks that he's getting away with it, but it's just getting started. Well, what I'm looking at is they already were investigating YouTubers that were making inflammatory remarks. I'm not just going to even say false statements because it looks like people are threatening her life. People are making some very, very heinous statements towards her. And it looks like someone in high order is already looking into this. So for him to go out here and do this in front of the court, there's already an active investigation going on things that were already said and done against her. This could have already been going on for the last couple of weeks. Hold on. Now watch how I show this. So this was for somebody to get balanced through a new beginning, you know, possibly promise somebody work, or they knew that this was going to take them to the next level, help them build their channel, take them up in the algorithm. It's like there was a promise that was made here that was supposed to help somebody, but it actually is going to backfire. Y'all, some people are going to lose their channels. Some people are going to lose their freedom. Some people are going to get sued. Some people are going to get all of the above. Said Diddy's lawyers are trying to get sentencing on Tuesday and to get him 21 months. Well, if they get him 21 months, the Fed's going to get him something else before he gets out. I promise you that. They're not going to stop piling stuff on him. Just, y'all will see. We're going to do him in a minute. Joe Smith, I know that you're helping my algorithm by leaving that ignorant comment. See how you just shouldn't have commented because that helps put me in the algorithm? Said I hope Rachel TV is one of them. I'm not familiar. Oh, you said is that Rachel? Or is that supposed to be Ratchet? I said we're going to look into Remy Ma. I can look into Remy Ma. Hey, Dane Clark. So what are your thoughts, Miss Angel? Do you think the trial was fair? Um, I feel like they rushed this trial on purpose for, you know, Diddy's sake, because had he have done the longer, more drawn out trial versus the speediest trial they could do, he would have never gotten out. But do I think the feds are done with him? Absolutely not. This is just the beginning. They had to get him with something. They went for the swiftest, speediest trial they can get to keep the feds from adding and adding and adding and adding charges during the trial. You said the feds are mad. Well, like I said, if they miss you once, they ain't gonna miss you twice. So when they circle back around, just know they had more. Yes, we got a new chair. You said rest the heavy bunny ears. Yeah, y'all donated to this chair. The screws was falling out the bunny chair. Yeah, so this time we won't get away with anything. Hi, honey, how are you? Well, see, here's the thing. Everything from here on out also could include his sons. So his sons aren't out of the water. He's not out of the water. And he could be looking at more state time versus fed time. So depending on state time, they could actually, keep him at this facility. He ends up still having all these civil cases because Busby just hit him with 3 more. One very, 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 very extensive case where they said that Justin was supposed to be working with a young lady in the entertainment industry. He brought her into the fold, and allegedly, according to what she's saying, someone spiked her drink and they did a group SA on her. So just know that they can keep piling it and piling and piling it on. Between state and fed, the charges are going to keep coming. Said his sons are going to be the reason he goes down and the other charges against him. Well, they definitely ain't going to help, I tell you that much. And his mother needs to be careful as well, because he's got so much in her name that they can come for her if they get enough information and try to RICO her as well. Yeah. So for Ratchet, the Hermit, the Ten of Wands, you're going to have to face this one alone. Nobody's coming to help you on this one. Everybody's going to be like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. I don't know nothing about it. Even if they were told about it, they're going to pretend like they didn't hear it. They don't know anything about it. You're going to eat this by yourself. So let me clear this table, y'all. Said I don't think his sons have any sense, right or wrong. I agree with you. I mean, they live in another world. It's a bubble around them to where, like, what we see as reality is not their reality. Like, they don't take anything serious. And that's going to be a huge downfall for them. But I guarantee you, when they start facing that time and they realize they got to go in, and they've never been in a real, scrimmage in their life outside of windmilling each other at home like, brothers and sisters do, baby, that energy is going to change because they do not want to go to the feds, especially the pretty ones, because they will be waiting on them. They will be rock stars and they're supermodels. They will be waiting on them. You know how legendary it will be for one of those OGs to say that they got Diddy sons washing their drawers and that's their prison wife? I mean, it's messed up, but I mean, think about the clout that somebody would get for something like that. Now we're about to get off into Remy Ma and her goof troop situation. Because for those of you who don't know, I don't know how you don't know. Yeah, you said the booty warrior. Yes. Fleece Johnson type energy, okay? And I don't know if you all have seen this in your algorithm, but type this in your algorithm so you can understand what I'm talking about. YNs turn prison wives. And these sons, they don't have, they're not rugged. They don't have that street energy to them. See, they like to run down like the Migos and fight people in groups and then leave and go and, get, face mask and all that type of stuff. They are not built for the county, let alone going to states or feds. It would be a blessing for them to go to the feds because they go to state, especially like maximum security. No ma'am, no sir. Alrighty, let's tap into this energy with Remy and her getting arrested on the state is hood. You right about that. Especially if you go into a state facility that has low funding. You got to fight the roaches and rats for your commissary. All right. Remy, let's look at the energy of you getting into it with the victim's daughter at the courthouse. Would you say, Austin? Said, Mother, may I? No, you may not. So I live on federal land, being state. Oh. Now don't drop the soap. Baby, sleep with your back to the wall and sleep lightly. Make sure you don't hold nobody's pocket or put no Kool-Aid on your lips. Come on, Remy. Come on, Remy. Come on, Remy. So for those of you who don't know, they said it was a very awkward exchange even in the courtroom because allegedly Remy was grooming the daughter of the victim in court. Just wow. And they had the exchange outside and she told the girl she would beat her up. Of course, the girl came for the smoke. But why are you engaging the victim's daughter when your son is responsible for taking his life? Oh, come on now. I got my sushi and lo mein. Sound like my kind of night. Now Not cherry flavor, please. Not the cherry flavor Kool-Aid so your lips nice and red. I'm done. Y'all are crazy. Said Remy had the nerve to be throwing attitude at the victim's family. You're right. Like, why are you doing that? Your son is the one that's in the wrong. Like, come on now. You said the girl said, I beat you up, and she said, come on. Like I said, why did she even engage the girl in the first place? You should expect the victim's family to be irate. Remy Ma, sweetie. So, we got the Six of Swords here, which came out trying. In the upright, she would have been able to leave. Trying. So it looks like they held Remy to make sure that there was not going to be an altercation if both of them left the vicinity at the same time. So I don't think that they held her for the long haul. They just wanted to make sure that neither one of them crossed paths up the street at the gas station, if that makes sense. Said Remy hasn't learned anything. She has not been rehabilitated. Well, all I could say is, say what you want to about Pap, but his influence mattered. Two of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. So this was a testy situation. It could have went either way. I don't think she paid attention to people really watching her and, taking on, the energy that was in the room. And that's why they held Remy, because this doesn't look like they kept her, but they detained her because they didn't want the both of them to cross each other. Yeah, said she better be glad all that girl did was talk, because I would have been straight mink, mink, mink. Listen. Whew. Not only that, you said I keep seeing number 22222 on your reading. Okay. It seemed like it gets to that number and then it goes back down. They definitely, she has to be careful because this is going to affect her son. This is going to affect her son. And see, what she's not thinking about is, I'm mad, I'm out here, I'm brolic, but your son is in lockup and you don't know who's in lockup with him. Queen of Cups and the Moon. Two of Cups. Y'all, there's going to be some information that's going to come out on Remy in the future. This is definitely not a good year for her, because Queen of Cups is intuition as well. Now, you would think like the Queen of Cups is someone that's very kind, but the Moon, there's some secrets here. She's not taking this as serious as she needs to. She's really not. And she may even be being advised by Easy. But notice he was nowhere to be found at that courthouse. So that says a lot about how he feels about her. Nine of Swords, Page of Coins. So something's going on with Remy, because Nine of Swords represents like anxiety, not sleeping, mental anguish of some kind. Page of Coins can represent a child, but that's also business. Like, when I tell y'all, she's got so many things going on with her right now that she can't keep up with. And it's like she's losing left and right. From what I heard, yes, the victim is related to Nikki's husband, for sure. I don't know if this is his cousin or his uncle, but I did hear that this is Nikki's husband's family. Says Remy's scared of losing her daughter. Not as much as she should be. Justice. Now pay attention. You see these two people arguing in front of the judge? Y'all, the energy was very, very, very tense in that courtroom. That's why they sent someone outside to see what was going on. Hold on. Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. Y'all, I said this ain't a good year for her. It's like she spends a lot of money, allegedly, on some type of toxic activity. Death and the Nine of Pentacles. It's like her financial structure is falling completely apart. She's gonna start losing a lot. Something is going on with her that is really, 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 really bad. And stories are gonna start to surface about what's happening with her. Three of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. So it looks like Papoose may have been telling the truth about writing 90% of her music, and he's getting paid off of more of her music than she is, because it looks like the heartbreak is like she may want to go back and do music, but that's not going to do so well for her. The Lovers and the King of Wands. So Sleazy the Black Captain looks like he might be out here, you know, getting to know other people, allegedly. Two of Cups, Eight of Swords. Y'all, she think they locked in and they got a good relationship. It looked like he out here auditioning for replacements. High Priest, Lord. High Priestess falling under the Moon and the Queen of Cups. Y'all, she got a lot of secrets. And I mean a lot of deep secrets. And it's like people's intuition, they're going to be like, I knew it. My intuition told me. But it's, y'all, it just feels like it's going to be worse than what people think. Yeah, I said not being by her side is a telltale. Well, I'm going to tell you why he's not by her side, allegedly. This is deeper than rap. And the person who lost their life is attached to some very, very, very strong people that can, you know, get some things done, if you know what I mean. He's a coward. Remember, this is a man who ran from Pap. And Pap knocked him out. So we know he ain't no fighter for real, regardless of what he's saying. this ain't what he want. So women true, woman love that. Okay, I'm not even finished reading that. Not even finished reading that. So it looks like he's saving himself and he's replacing her because he don't want the smoke. He want to be able to bend corners and not have problems with whatever is going on with this, allegedly. Yeah, see, she's worried because it's like she's thinking about deals, contracts, negotiations, and agreements. Like she may have thought that her and him were going to be engaged, get married. But he's looking at all these problems she got. 10 of Wands, you got the weight of the world on your back and I can't help you carry it. Justice, 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is her being down to the court by herself. Publicly humiliating herself. 5 of Cups. She gonna mess around and not even be allowed in the courthouse. Can't be in court grooming people and your family is the one that's being accused of taking their family life. Said Easy used Remy to up his career and she done took him on live TV with her. It's over. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was crazy that she put him on her league because he rarely ever wins a battle. Anybody that knows battle rap knows that he don't really win his battles. If he got 10 of them, he might do 2, 2.5, but he's not good at winning battles. Yeah, you said Pap went to see her son before she did, and that speaks volumes. There we go. Say yes, I barely knew who he was. If it wasn't for Remy, you probably wouldn't know who he was. So, Ace of Pentacles to the Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Pentacles. I'm telling y'all, she just spent a lot of money with this man and on certain activities. I mean, a lot of money. Temperance. It's like she trying to get balance through a new beginning after this marriage came to an end, because Ace of Pentacles also outside of money represents a commitment, a union, and it's like, you know, ain't no other way to say it. She went from shit to she went from sugar to shit. She's realizing how much she lost losing this relationship, and she's heartbroken. And then here it is. He's a good father, the emperor. So no matter what, he's still very involved in his daughter's life. And now she feels heartbroken and betrayed. And I want y'all to look at this. This is a person who's sitting up on a laptop. And as y'all can see, all of these comments. They're reading all these comments on the internet and they feel betrayed, like everybody turned their back on them. So she's, you know, when she gets out, she's going to see all the coverage and she's going to feel betrayed by the coverage and the way people are showing her. But honey, they can't talk about what you didn't give them to talk about. It's sad to say, but sorry ass. We'll say Negro will drag a good woman down through the gutter, leaving them heartbroken and penniless. Well, here's the thing. I get what you're saying, but if she was such a good woman, she wouldn't have went and picked him up and tried to clean him up and make him the new version of her husband. So this looked like karma to me. It's one thing to say, okay, I fell out of love with my husband. But it's another thing to go and take the money that you earned as a family unit and go pick somebody up out the gutter, go get their teeth fixed, buy them all types of jewelry so that they can look the part when you could have just worked on your marriage? Or let that husband go respectfully, got yourself together, and dated who you really wanted to date. The whole way she did this was trash. So I can't really say a good woman, because a good woman wouldn't have done this. This looks like you played in the dirt, got ringworms, and the person that gave you the ringworms went on to be clean with somebody else. Said Remy swore the guy made $50,000 a battle. I knew she was lying. How? He don't win his battles. I mean, he might have done that once or twice, but if he was making that kind of money, he would have fixed his own teeth. Said Clarissa threw shade when she went public and invited Nikki to her next fight. Oh, wow. Yeah, real trifling. Said, you're right, Remy was wrong for how she did Pat. Yeah, how she did Papoose, and a real woman wouldn't have done that. Right. And then called him broke. Right. Not Remus. Remus and Hotch are the same. I'm done. Nobody said that Pap was innocent. See, y'all got to stop doing that. Because here's the thing. No matter what Pap was doing, he did not embarrass Remy. We have yet to see any side chick come forward spending Remy's money, embarrassing the family, degrading their marriage the way that her and Easy did. Ain't nobody say nothing about him being innocent. We're saying Pap did not disrespect her the way that she disrespected him in that marriage. So no matter what, that man stuck by her, helped her children, did all of that while she was locked up for almost 10 years. If he was sleeping with other people while she was locked up and we never heard about it, guess what? Even his side chicks were more respectful than Remy. Remy paraded this porch monkey with them adjacent ass teeth and had him across the whole entire internet. Went and took Christmas pictures with this man. Instead of being with her family, bought this man all types of expensive watches that he could have never bought himself. Let this man shake her husband's hand out in public. This man told her, I love you, in front of everybody, knowing that they was out in public at a battle and people are nosy and they was going to read his lips. Did all of that to still lose. Played herself. If she didn't want to be with him no more, that's fine. She could have left him. It's the way you do it. And out of all people, Easy to block captain, you couldn't do no better than that girl. That's shameful in itself. Easy to block captain looked like a Ebola monkey. I'm pretty sure there was somebody else that she could have went and got. You picked the lowest common denominator out of your battle league because you wanted control, you wanted power, you wanted to be able to put your thumb on somebody and be able to say, I'm the boss. That's all that was. That was low self-esteem that made you pick him. He looked like a whole, what they call them, little sea monkeys about the face. His teeth was every which way. How you kiss somebody with teeth like this? Now, I ain't gonna never sit here and say that Pap is, the coming of Christ. He perfect. None of that. All I'm saying is he was way more respectful with how he handled his business. And now she out here spiraling, looking like Holiday Heart. It's sad. Yeah, she looking like Holiday Heart. She ain't too far away from that bicycle scene. She keep all of this up. You in court grimming people and your son in the wrong. Like, girl, you should have just been there for your son. Kept your ass at 10 and 2 in front of the judge. And closed your mouth and not said nothing to nobody. Said Easy look like Caesar from Planet of the Apes. Don't you insult Caesar like that. That is a handsome simian. Okay? Caesar is well spoken. And I know he get all of the primate hoes. Don't you do Caesar like that. Caesar don't deserve that kind of disrespect. We ain't never seen Caesar teeth here, there, and everywhere. He got a good dentist out there in the woods. They take good care of him out there in the rainforest. You said my bad. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I know this is petty, but damn it, hold on. Now y'all see this? Why would y'all ever do Caesar like that? Look at this. Caesar don't deserve that. Hold on. Look at them teeth. Told you it's a good dentist out there. Now somebody made him angry, but he still got good teeth. Now he can give Easy a run for his money. Now wait a minute. We ain't gonna do him like that. We gonna respect Caesar. Austin, I ain't want to say that. I'm not reading that out loud. just want to reiterate, the only thing we could have said about Pap is that we ain't never see him take his hat off because we thought his hairline was back here. But now he got a hairline and he out with a whole nother woman with his hat off. And that's all we could say about him. But Easy, oh, they had to go wrangle his teeth. It took the cavalry to go find each and every last one of them so they could bring them together like picket fences and then wire them. Why did you go get him, Remy, out of all people? I know good and well New York got way better than offer than that. So do Philly. Like this is what you picked up? Girl. Yeah, so look at this. You said chisel those teeth. Baby, they had to set some firecrackers off in his mouth so that they can get them loose enough to pull them together. All his teeth was divorced. So she gonna be trying to struggle to get herself back together to, you know, regain her name after all of this comes out of the algorithm because, you know, a lot of people are talking about this and it's just not really favorable for her right now. And she can't, you know, look to Joe for Joe to help, you know, kind of smooth out the algorithm because he got problems of his own. Would you say you're so funny, Angel? Baby, listen. I'm just saying. Easy to Block Captain is ugly in the dark. I would have seen him with my eyes closed during the apocalypse under eternal darkness and be like, ooh, no, what is that? Like, girl. And then he got to nerve to be ugly and corny. If you ugly, you better know how to dress and have, you know, have some pizzazz about yourself. Have some personality. Make somebody laugh. It's just too many no's. Yeah. 6 of Wands. It was like she was good to go until they said we need to restrain you. And she's got to be careful from now on out because she's going to make it to where Pap is going to be able to get the daughter. And it'll happen swiftly if she don't get her act together. So I'm going to pull out of this energy because, y'all, this ain't, like I said, this is not her year. This is not her year. The best thing she can do is just cool her jets, chill out, and, you know, stop going back and forth with people because it looks worse and worse every time. Said Easy Tools rent. She was cute and stupid for real. Baby, Remy's a nice looking woman. I don't understand. Why is she out here dating aliens? I know I seen Easy to Block Captain on Men in Black. I know I did. He was one of them worms. Y'all remember the worms that ate all the sugar? He was one of those worms. Can't tell me no different. Alrighty. Let's see. Put some anointing oil on my hands because we're about to do the diddler. And see what comes up for him from here. Matter of fact, you know what? Nope, I'm going to use his favorite deck. The one that started off everything. Those of y'all that go back with me, this is the deck that started his series. When I read him and Cassie, this was the deck. Whew. I feel like I need a glass of wine already. Alrighty. Show me the energy with the diddler, starting with today's verdict. Show me the energy with the diddler, starting with today's verdict. Not you say no Rico for the Freako. Y'all are crazy. Now, I already showed y'all this card, Two of Swords. Y'all see this shadow figure back here? Two of Swords. That's the card of cutting someone off, cutting off energy. If y'all can guess the card that is at the bottom of my deck, I'm giving away a 1-hour reading for free. Let's see who's the first person that gets it. Okay, nope. Not yet, not yet. Not yet. Still waiting. I'll give you a hint. It literally ties us into the first reading that we did at the very beginning. Okay, I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. Good answers, but I don't see it yet. All good answers, but I don't see it yet. Remember, it ties this reading back into the very first reading that we did. The one where I got all of the issues with my internet. Don't worry, Southpaw Meek, we gonna teach you. When I show y'all, y'all gonna be like, dang. I don't see it yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. What you say to Camel? I'm gonna show y'all. Queen of Swords. Remember, I said, tie me into the energy that started today during the court proceedings, before, because he hasn't been sentenced yet, wanting to cut off the Queen of Swords. There's a moon behind her, secret. Queen of Swords is the communicator, the orator. No, this ain't Cassie. Remember who we were talking about at the very beginning? That's right, Mystic. That's right. That's why I said it takes us back to where we started. Ain't that crazy? Angry and educated and mystic got it, Isaiah. Takes us back to where we started. That's right, Miss Conceited. I literally asked for the energy of today before they made the announcement. Two of Swords, Queen of Swords. He didn't even want her to be able to speak. He wanted to stop her from being able to speak about what was going to happen. He's fixated on her. She better be careful. Oh, we got 3 cards face down. What we got going on? Remember, remember I told y'all there's attempts and threats against her life? The Death card. Nine of Cups will be a wish fulfillment. Eight of Cups. They want her to walk away. It's something about her voice. Sending people to, threaten her. Threaten to fight her. If she doesn't walk away. That's crazy. It brought us right back to the very person we started talking about. That's why they start messing with my feed, y'all. This is why the DOJ is going to take this very serious. Those YouTubers that called themselves getting out there, trying to get in the algorithm and make a name for themselves, they messed up big time. That's a shame, talking about the baby oil on the courthouse on CNN. That is a shame, because, look, a clown and a fool. So is it true she's friends with Claudia Jordan? That I do not know, but I'm telling you, there are some very serious threats against her life. Not just people arguing with her. People are threatening her life. King of Pentacles, Page of Cups. Yeah, somebody about to be sorry, Page of Cups. It looks like King of Pentacles. This is an older gentleman who may have helped to orchestrate this, allegedly. Wow, so there's another YouTuber. She had to change hotels. I'm not surprised. So her channel goes by Mango. Is that the Asian young lady? Because I'm telling you, this is serious. This is not a joke. Okay, you say yes? Yeah, you're going to be sorry. Because this feels orchestrated. Right, okay, Rotten Mangoes. I have heard of her channel before. This is orchestrated, and we're talking about not just, people talking crazy. It's like threats against people's lives. Wow, so he addressed her in court. Ain't that bold of you? Like, this man has no idea how this is going to come back. I'm telling you, I see a big investigation around this. The YouTubers, they threw themselves under the bus on this one. Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. They wanted to make it too hard for her to do her job. They didn't expect her to stand her ground. Well, at least the diddler didn't. He didn't expect her to stand her ground. But this is somebody that runs point for him, that's organizing stuff for him, allegedly. Y'all see how every time I end up in a rabbit hole, they mess with my internet? That's why I went ahead and just said I'll just use my cellular instead of my Wi-Fi. Would you say she hated on him the whole time? What are you talking about? Eat heavenly cupcakes? Who hated on who? Look like they freezing my chat here. Yeah, Page of Swords. They wanted to make sure that this was seen. Yeah, it's like they wanted to make an example out of the larger YouTubers. Heavenly Cupcakes, you ain't got to hate on Diddy. First thing first, let me explain something to you. There ain't gonna be no Diddy sympathizing over here. That man has done things to where you can't hate on him enough to make him look worse than what he's done to himself. So if you over here sympathizing for Diddy, I suggest you go ahead and leave. Because you might as well call me a hater on Diddy, because I predicted he was going to jail in the first place. Y'all got to stop being petty, talking about folks is hating on folks just because you don't like what they said. Thank you, Miss D. Let God multiply this tenfold into your household. Can't nobody say nothing no worse about him than what the people around him can say about the things that they've actually witnessed. Some things ain't hate. Y'all got to stop trying to look up to people and worship people and putting people on these pedestals. Figure out what you want to do when you grow up so you stop looking up to monsters that got money. Having money does not make you a good person. He's a scoundrel. And you can tell him I said it. Talking about somebody hating on him. How about this for hate? He ain't shit. Ain't gonna never be shit. If Kim is like a sister to you, then you wouldn't be sitting here talking about somebody hating on him. You don't really love Kim. This ain't about not judging. Right is right and wrong is wrong. There is a time for everything. There is a time you're supposed to stand up in judgment. How the hell you gonna say you love Kim, but you don't judge? You couldn't possibly love Kim if you don't judge him for the things he did to her. You're a sympathizer with somebody that brutalized Kim and you think Kim is a sister to you? You couldn't be my sister. I wouldn't want you in my family. You be the sister to watch somebody knock your face loose and then go and talk to the person outside and smoke a cigarette with them and tell them, oh, he was just upset. You are a horrible family member. Know what brought you to my page, you might as well leave. And if you really care about the twins, you do whatever you could to help them so that they don't end up in the same situation as their mama. The hell you come over here for? You gonna make me pull cards on you next. Find out who you really are. Matter of fact, I think I will. Because you sound like an op. You don't sound like a family member to me. What type of family are you? You like Tina Turner mama? The type Somebody try to get away and they can call you and find out where they went? I don't know what you saying. False, my nieces need the trust fund. No, baby, don't nobody need no money to go through no horrible shit like that. Eat heavenly cupcakes. Matter of fact, hold on, let me pause Diddy. Let me read you. Because apparently you like playing in my face. So let me read you. Let me find out why God didn't give you the good sense that he gave a dead goose. Because you a dumb bitch. You came to the right place for the wrong reason. And you got my attention, so let's go. Let's find out about you, cupcakes. You can get all the free smoke tonight. Auntie, sister, piece of shit. What would you like me to call you? Let's go. Oh, wait a minute. Judgment in reverse. Why you need him to get out? Is it you that need the money? Yeah, you should have left. You should have left. You worried about the trust fund. What was you getting out of this? Nah, you ain't great. You slow. You eat paint chips. You definitely came to the right place. You thought you can come over here and manipulate the algorithm and play with me? Baby, I'm for real, for real. What you think you was gonna do over here? Who sent you over here? Oh, see, I got it. You need balance through a new beginning because you broke. Your money come in slow, my baby. That's what this is. No, baby, I ain't slow at all. I caught on to you. I caught on to you. Your money's slow. That's what this is about. That's what this is about. No mucho dinero. You about to run out of money? It's something going on with you and your money. Nah, this ain't false. This ain't false at all. You didn't expect me to read you. You ain't expect me to read you. That's what this was. What you juggling? Weight of the world on your back. You got that robbing Peter to pay Paul type energy. Oh yeah, I am reading you. I'm going to read you all the way back to your great-grandmammy, and I'm going to tell you why she wasn't shit either. Yeah. Who paid you, honey? Who paid you? Who sent you here? Who sent you here with your broke ass? You spiritually broke and financially broke. Who sent you? Would you say I ain't doing nothing? I gotta be a joke? No, baby, if I was a joke, you wouldn't be here. Only person getting laughed at is you with your dumb ass. Where your secret money coming from? Wheel of Fortune, the moon. Who actually is funding you? Who's actually funding you? How you make your money? You over there at them parties with baby oil and a bag of dicks in your mouth? How you make your money? Why you here? You know I ain't no joke. That's why you here. I do this for real, for real. No, baby, I ain't kidding you. Go back through the full readings that I did on him when I said the Homeland Security and the feds was coming, they did. when I was reading President Biden and I pulled the energy between Suge Knight and President Biden and said he was going to prison. You know good and well who I am. You the one worries about some money. You know people telling the truth. Yeah. What you come here for? What you come here for? I don't have to be disrespectful to you, baby. You disrespectful to yourself. You came in here and thought that you could sympathize and get somebody to feel some type of way about a demon. And then you talking about you family, them your nieces. What type of family are you? You more worried about the money than you worried about their safety. What's wrong with you? Where's CPS? They need to come and talk to you, auntie. We take out the trash over here. Nah, baby, you ain't respectful. You ain't respectful at all. I'm talking about you respectful to yours. If you respectful to yours, you would have stood up for Kim and you would have protected those children, you piece of shit. You ain't respectful. You can't even spell it right. Ain't nothing respectful about you. You said what you said. They need their trust fund money. Why you more worried about their money than you worried about them? Ain't a piece of money on the face of God's green earth that's worth more than the innocence of a child. Talking about you don't judge. Your stupid ass. So who are you? No, you ain't standing up for yours. You bending over with the baby oil too so you can get a payment. Do you put your hands flat on the floor when you get it? How you get it? How you get it? How you live? What you doing? What you come over here for real, for real? Under a fake page and thought nobody was gonna feel your energy. Come under your real name. Nah, this ain't Desiree. See, you could even spell page with your illiterate ass. Your name is Erica, you're a stand-up person? No, you a bend-over bitch. Lots of grease. Lots of grease. And don't nobody stand with you. You going through it. You going through it. Stuff is happening fast. Y'all didn't expect him to actually sit in there and not be able to get out. Nah, I ain't got you fucked up. I got you right, baby. I got you right. I got you right, Miss Erica. I got you all the way right. I'm not just a tarot card reader. I'm a medium. That's why I pick up on you. You broke down, bitch, you. You're spiritually poor. You're morally poor. You're a degenerate. You'll do anything for the money, and that's why you won't have it for too much longer. And then what you gonna do then? Go ahead and take your walk of shame. Take your medicine right along with it, too. Funny you show up as soon as I get to reading his cards. How long you been in here? Oh, it's plenty to be ashamed of, pissy face. It's plenty to be ashamed of. Having money don't mean that you ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. It means you do shameful things for money. I know it's your first time here because I ain't picked up on your energy before you with your fake page. You a miserable, salty bitch. You talk shit for real. It be all across your mouth when you done. It's sad the things that people will do so that they appear a certain way out in public. You robbing Peter to pay Paul just so you don't have to look terrible for the things that you got to do to almost keep up. Get off your knees and go get a degree so that you don't have to keep playing yourself, you dumb bitch. The hell you come here for? With your paint chip eating ass. All jokes aside, I don't play when it comes to kids. And you talking about auntie and you love Kim. You ignorant bitch. You don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. Talking about you didn't disrespect me. You disrespected me when you came in this chat and tried to pretend like you cared about that family. You don't care about nobody but yourself, and you don't even love yourself. Bootlicking asshole. Thank you, Melanie. People think that money is everything. You run out of money and then what? You can't buy your way into heaven, but you can slide all the way down into hell. No, ain't nobody ignorant. You mad because I'm calling you out and I'm speaking truth. You don't stand up for family. You don't stand up for yourself. You don't even love yourself, you raggedy bitch. You don't know what love is. How can you love somebody else when you don't even like yourself? A person who respects himself wouldn't even came in this comment and said what you said. Tell me I'm not mad, you got it wrong. You ain't got no reason to be mad. You should be mad at yourself that you look in the mirror and hate what you see. You hate what you see. No, you think you far from raggedy because you wear designer shit. Raggedy bum ass bitches wear designer shit too. You ain't never heard of a designer bum? Bitch, that's you. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and stop giving you your 2 seconds of fame. And I'm going to block you from this channel because it's evident that you going to end up crashing out anyway and having nothing. Can't believe you came over here on a fake page trying to play with me. Got the nerve to say your nieces and you love Kim. You couldn't possibly. You don't even like yourself. See what happened when you get people that watch you, pretend like they ain't watching you, and then they come over here because they scared they gonna go broke? You talking about you ain't raggedy because you wear nice stuff? You're still scum. You're still dumpster juice. No nice bag and no nice car make you worthwhile. They can say all they want about fake physics, but they know I ain't fake. They coming over here under fake pages and then get shot right up and through all of this. Because you playing with somebody that's really anointed. Go sit down and eat your food. Because you done ate plenty of dicks and it ain't about to get you too much further. Your career is over. You've been decommissioned. You're no longer going to get your allowance. Deal with it. Now let me get back to the person that they was over here sympathizing over. since you worried about not getting your allowance no more. Now let's go back to this energy around these YouTubers being harassed and this federal probe, because there is an investigation, y'all. And somebody didn't want to hear that it's an investigation because they tired of walking around with a fancy handbag full of dust. Well, get ready to sell your handbag. All right. Okay, Page of Cups. Okay. Where'd the other one just go? Page of Cups, Two of Cups. Yeah, like I said, somebody's sorry because they're no longer being tended to. Two of Cups in reverse. Yeah, they don't mess with you like that. So I think this is Diddy told some of these rappers that he was going to be, hold on. Diddy's told some of these rappers he's going to be coming out today, allegedly. He said, not a spiritual interview. Listen, they better leave me alone. Said I would have been so upset if I had to listen to this on a replay. Oh, man. Right, touch not mine anointed, do my prophets no harm. So he'll definitely one not to be played with, Angel. I tried to keep it cute, but when she sat up there talking about how she care about the family, like, girl, I should slap you. Said I saw this video of Jane Doe and she looked like an actor from TikTok. Said, is it safe to put the gnome away? Baby, the gnome didn't show up. Yeah, this is messing up a lot of people's plans because people did expect him to come home. They thought that the whole case was going to be dropped. And I want y'all to pay attention to the algorithm and the way that everything is going in the algorithm, because a lot of people reported it as if the whole case was done, and it wasn't. Now these people don't know what to say because not only is he not coming home, he got denied bail. Ha, look at here. King of Cups. We know who that is. Okay? So the King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles. Oh, money is slowing down. What I tell you? Didn't I tell you people concerned about the money? Knight of Pentacles is that money ain't what it used to be. It's coming real slow, far and in between. Look like folks gonna have to get back out here and start dating. But how you gonna date when people don't know if you got something on your ass or not? Yeah, y'all want to stick next to him because that money is getting funny. Now, I just called that out. Talking about you worried about the daughters and their trust fund. You wasn't worried about no trust fund. You worried about your fund. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Underhanded communication. Five of Swords. Remember, look at how this person turned into a werewolf. This person that was arguing turned into a werewolf. They picked who they knew would be the crash out to go and do what? Turn into a werewolf and crash out. Seven of Swords, like I said, the overlay for the underplay falls under the Two of Swords. Baby, he about to feel some type of way because these people are going to throw him out like the baby with the bathwater. You said tell them teledocs about to be paid for scripts. Whew. Yeah. Eight of Wands. Yeah, this is happening fast. It's like, y'all, don't be surprised if they find out that, they may have allegedly paid private investigators to ride around and find people, find out what hotel they're in, look people up, possibly, find out if they have credit cards, if they're paying for the rooms under the credit cards, this type of stuff. And this is how they're finding people. King of Swords. Once again, here's the DOJ looking into who's organizing things in secret. The Moon. They don't even know that it's an investigation looking into all of this harsh communication. I told y'all, the feds are looking into all of these YouTubers, all of these fans of these pages, and whoever else is calling in these threats and saying this crazy stuff. And they're trying to tie it back to the diddler. So these YouTubers, I think they need to tread very lightly with some of these things that they're saying, because they could end up in a dossier without even knowing it. The Chariot. Forward movement. Yeah. People are going to try to escape from this story. Like, oh, this is too toxic. Let me leave it alone. It's too late. It is too late. You can't abandon ship now and think that you're done with this. They're already looking into you. They're already looking into you. Would you say the feds need to call you? Say Willie D about he is coming home. Well, see, them saying he's coming home is not the problem. It's more so the inflammatory messages where it becomes threatening. Those are the ones that they're really going after. Now, people reporting things falsely, like just saying he's coming home, that's not going to be strong enough to go after, YouTubers. The YouTubers they're going after are the ones that have the harsher tone in their communication. Yeah, the Empress and the Ten of Pentacles. Now, didn't I just pull the Empress in a whole nother deck, the Ten of Pentacles? Y'all pay attention. Empress and the Ten of Pentacles. Three of Cups. The women around him. Y'all think y'all slick. They gonna be watching you too. I ain't gonna say no names, but they gonna be watching you too. Said the chick earlier on Tissa's live, I don't do violence, as if she agreed to intercept her live, but that was it. Like I said, it feels like a secret, concerted effort to gather people together to come against her, to bring her down so that she will leave this case alone. They want to scare people away from this case that have a larger subscribership. And see, July, I want y'all to understand, this month is Mercury retrograde. Retrogrades cause a lot of things from the past to come forward and to be exposed. So a lot of these people definitely are going to be exposed this month, going all the way into the Lionsgate portal at the end of August. And this is going to be a very aggressive investigation. It may take months, but don't be surprised, y'all. They're going to take their time. They want to, it's like a spider web. They want to make sure that they get every angle. And because all of these people are in different states, they're from different places, that also creates a RICO as well. If these people were coerced into behaving this way and doing these things, because they come from different places and they're doing what's considered to be harassment against across the telecommunication system. To harass somebody over the phone or to do something like this and to purposely go after somebody the way that Ratchet TV did is a form of harassment across a telecommunication system. That is a federal felony. So it's up to the authorities how far they want to take this, but it's like they're connecting the dots. They want to see how far back these dots go. Four of Cups. Yeah, this is not going to end well for the diddler. It looks like he thought this was going to give him balance through a new beginning. So y'all, this is what I'm getting. He thought that he was going to be able to come home. He was going to come outside. He was going to speak to the press. He was going to speak to certain YouTubers, but he wanted certain people cleared out of the way before he came out. Said, oh, and Lovely also called Jane Doe's real name on Tissa's live. Well, that's not Tissa that said it. That's Lovely. And Lovely, if you dox that woman, whether it was on your live or Tissa's live, they will come for you because Tissa didn't say it. A lot of this is weird. Crazy enough, that person that was on my live, y'all, under that fake page, that Empress card, she's a mother. So how in the world could you care about somebody else's children and you don't even care about yours? You couldn't. You couldn't possibly. A real mother protects all children. So they're going to help her to, navigate this toxic, chaotic situation. But pay attention. Here's the Fool card again. Here's the woman that looks innocent and virginal. And then here's the, guy that looks like the roughneck coming over here in the motorcycle jacket, approaching her. Okay? But it looks like the authorities are, from here on out, they're going to make sure that she has safe passage. I wouldn't be surprised if they give her an escort, to wherever she needs to go, and they check in with her to make sure that she's safe after all of this has happened. So they didn't do anything but put eyes on her, and they're going to make sure she's protected. Like I said, somebody's going to be facing going to jail. Because they're going to get to the bottom of who's making these death threats. And see, people think that because they use these text now apps and they make up these phone numbers on these apps that they can get away with things. That's what you do with regular people. You can't do that with the feds. The feds and Homeland Security will triangulate, get the information, sign off on, you know, whatever warrant they need for the app company, and the app company will give them all of your information. I don't know why people decided to play with this. You don't play with any court, but federal court is a huge no-no. Yeah. Now you got justice falling under the King of Swords. That's the DOJ. That's, y'all expect multiple levels of law enforcement to work together to look through this. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, they're gonna invest in figuring out every last one of these people that was a part of this harsh communication. I don't think any of these people took this serious, but baby, they should have had. They should have had, because this is about to turn into a nightmare for some of these people. It really is. And see, now people are juggling Two of Pentacles on how to move forward. See, you were aggressive. You came through like a bull in a china shop. You were ready for whatever. You were ready to jump off the porch. You were ready to cause a scene, as the old folks say, grandstand. Nine of Pentacles, independent woman, falling under the Ten of Pentacles. He knew she was going to be by herself. Y'all, I'm telling you, somebody plotted and planned. They mapped out everybody's location. And these people are so stupid because, I mean, even if you're away from a federal building, if you're in a metropolis, a downtown area, you have to expect that there are going to be cameras everywhere, every single angle. If it's a major downtown area, baby, there is no way, no how that they're not going to see you moving around. Did you do anything for clout, people? This is sad. Yeah, they thought that this was going to get them, you know, more people to like them. This was going to bring opportunities. But all it did was bring them shame, humiliation, regret, and it's fallen under the Four of Cups, an unrequited offer. Everything that they thought they were going to do to her is returned to them times 10. And it's leading back to the diddler, y'all. All of this is falling under the King of Cups. Now they want to know, do you know him, or do you know any of his associates, any of his affiliates? Oh, thank you. What is this? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, they want to know all these people that have made these harsh comments, these threats. They're going to check to see who all they're associated with. These people's DMs, their emails, their text messages, their call logs. People can start expecting to hand that information over. Because they want to make sure that these people are not associated with anybody under the King of Cups umbrella. Peanut butter and jelly both move real stupid. They move real stupid. My phone is running hot. That's crazy. And this is a new phone. Two of Wands, Knight of Swords. Yeah, it's like now you got people trying to, they're trying to second guess how do they move forward? What do they do from here? Because they were gun-ho when it came to saying whatever they said. Now they're trying to figure out how do they maneuver after this. Said if I was a content creator, I would have had to do my investigation from inside of an office space by the courthouse, not outside with the drama. You said phone running hot, there's communication hot. Well, I mean, everybody should have been able to, do whatever their commentary was, whether people liked it or not, outside of the court, as long as it wasn't inflammatory and hurting anyone. But, yeah, these people are second guessing it now. It's like, oh, shoot, what's going to come out of this? How's this going to move? How's this going to work? And I'm telling you, it's so crazy. I can't get over that person who was in my chat talking crazy, talking reckless under that fake page. You're a mother. You're a mother. You're a liar and you're a mother. And you talking about I got you wrong. Cause you got a couple dollars, you're not a bum. You actually worse than a bum. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, left out in the cold. You see this? Police coming. When the police come to investigate, you're going to be left out in the cold. But look who shows up at the bottom of the deck. King of Wands. Didn't I say peanut butter and jelly? Didn't I say peanut butter and jelly? You can't find one without finding the other? Queen of Swords. Yeah, the DOJ is going to invest in protecting the Queen of Swords. They're going to help her to go in a new direction. So, prayers up for Tissa. And prayers of protection also for Rotten Mangoes. They are looking very, very close off into this. They are. And some of these YouTubers, like I said, get ready. Get your legal team together. Not your lawyer, your legal team. Because if you got that money, you're about to spend it for real. Rotten Mangoes is an Asian lady who has a YouTube channel, and she does like crime stories. Said I would think that he would want nothing to do with him after what Spiro said. It ain't that he wants something to do with them. It's something in this that is intertwined between the two. One of these YouTubers, or maybe more than one of these YouTubers, has ties or connections to people between both camps. Like I said, people worry about grabbing money. Worried about, oh, okay, this is a new business opportunity for me. Yeah, Knight of Swords. Messages is going to come in really, really soon. Independent woman. This is a woman that's about to be contacted by the authorities because you are a YouTuber and you have ties between both camps. And you're about to feel very betrayed. Very, very betrayed. Said, yep, kept the back and forth going, kept going deeper in debt. Yep. And this person is not going to see this coming. All I can keep saying is get ready. And this is somebody who claims that they're spiritual. They claim they believe in a higher power. But you're going to find out the higher power is real because you're going to be on the wrong side of right. And God is going to get you together and clear you out with the trash that you canoodle with. Said, when is the Five of Wands going to show for those rubbers, I think, that they will tell? Said, wait, it's the harsh communication, the card. The harsh communication is people speaking in inflammatory ways, threatening ways, building false narratives. Y'all, this could actually turn into people losing their channels, getting sued, people being investigated, not wanting to be a part of, they're going to try to separate themselves from this. Like, I didn't have anything to do with anything. That wasn't me. I just happened to be outside. But you're going to get caught. Said rotten to... okay, that's rotten mangoes, but I got what you're saying. Rotten Tomato said that Diddy said, I know you when she was in court and she changed hotels 8 times due to the threats. Listen. Like I said, there is a YouTuber, a woman in particular, who is affiliated with industry people, and those people are between both camps with peanut butter and jelly, and she's going to get herself caught up. You think you're smarter than you really are. We're going to find out how you really get your money. We're going to find out what your relationships really are with these people. We're going to find out what's a PR package and what's slid under the table for maleficent reasons. You thought that you could just separate yourself like you usually do and play coy, but see, stupid won't help you this time. You can't play dumb this time. Not with Homeland Security and the federal government. Because that's who's been over this case. Everything that happens attached to this case is a part of that investigation. Yeah, and see, this person is well loved. This person comes off as a sweetheart. This person has been doing this for a very long time. 6 of Cups. You've been around for a very long time. And you've been affiliated with the Diddler for a very long time. Nah, this ain't got nothing to do with Megan the Reporter. Megan the Reporter is not 6 of Cups. We only got her due to Tory. This is somebody that's tied into industry people that's been around for a long time. This is somebody who gets invited to parties. This is somebody that's on guest list. You're not as smart as you thought you were. See, you sitting lovely right now, Queen of Pentacles, but you played your cards wrong. You allowed somebody to approach you with an offer. All opportunities ain't good opportunities. All money ain't good money. I called you right, you bum bitch. Yeah, Nene, a woman. Now, anybody that's in tarot class with me, I give you the opportunity right here, right now. Pull your cards out and throw some cards and see what you find. I'll put mine down. I'm not going to give y'all a name, but I know who it is. And like I said, this person has been around for a long time. This person is invited to all types of nice places. You're on guest list. It never crossed your mind that you've been to several places, attached to several people who are being looked at, because the government is not going to ever tell you everybody they're looking at, sweetheart. Like I said, anybody that is in tarot class, I give you permission. Go ahead and read the energy. There we go. You said King of Swords, Four of Wands. Yeah, and see, King of Swords represents someone that's in law enforcement. Four of Wands is like engagement. So somebody that's in law enforcement is engaging in or committing to looking into this. Yeah, I'm glad Millie wasn't there either, because this is a catastrophe. Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a card of gossip and partying. Said if I join tarot class, how do I catch up? Baby, we do tarot class every Monday. Don't worry about catching up. We learn together. Said Temperance to the Knight of Pentacles. This person is a Sag. If they're not a Sag, they're definitely a fire sign for sure. They got a lot of fire in their chart. Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they about to be discovered. Star in reverse. This is going to actually cause them to lose a lot of respect publicly. Knight of Cups to the Nine of Wands. Yeah, offer that came through to cause a situation that somebody would have to defend themselves. You said Seven of Swords. Yeah, the overlay for the underplay, the backdoor cards, the sneaky person. Cash, we'll teach you, baby. King of Swords and the Five of Swords. Yeah, come on now, Tarot Destiny. Whoever this high-ranking person in law enforcement, possibly the state of New York, is looking into all of this conflict and this communication, the Five of Swords. It said Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Seven of... okay, you got an aquatic deck, but Seven of Pentacles. So, like I said, money is going to slow down for this person. Engagements are going to be in and out, the things that they invested in. Knight of Swords, fast communication coming in, and they're going to be watching the algorithm. There we go. Three of Pentacles. They want to see who all was working together, because Three of Pentacles is also a card of people colluding together. King of Cups. That's a water sign. Ace of Swords. So the truth coming out about a King of Cups. This person was trying to defend this person, working together closely. Two of Cups. May have at some point in time been in a romantic situation with this person, or at least been close enough to the Strength. Strength is also a lot of fiery energy. Yes, Mystic, that's what that looks like to me. The truth could possibly come out about them sleeping together or dating. Hierophant. That's high level law enforcement, possibly federal judge getting involved to see what's going on. Three of Swords, heartbreak manifesting out of an opportunity. Three of Wands. See what I mean? These people, a lot of people are about to be exposed. They're about to be exposed, and they're about to be exposed in ways that they don't even see this coming. Like I said, this is somebody who has been to these parties, who's been on these special invites, that have friends in high places that are invited to parties between both these people. Ten of Pentacles, King of Cups. Oh, somebody possibly gave you a very large amount of money on behalf of this King of Cups. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Not being able to control this situation, juggling the situation, getting out of hand. Eight of Pentacles, work. Heartbreak. Yeah, it's like this got out of hand. They didn't expect this to happen the way it happened, and now they can't handle it. You said Four of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Cups in reverse. Yes, this person losing their stability, and people no longer respecting them. Said the Sun to the Eight of Cups. Being exposed after walking away. Yeah, like I said, this person thought that they could have walked away from this situation and everything was going to be cool. Nobody was going to know. You underestimated the situation because you didn't realize there was already an active investigation going on for people that were harassing her already. And it looks like the government is going to step for Tissa, baby. It's an Ace of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this person is going to lose all love and respect from the public. Now see, I put my cards down. Y'all saw it for yourself. So for whoever that was that wanted to say I'm a joke, I got it wrong. How many other people in this chat that just pulled cards got it wrong too? Yes, at Two of Cups to the Ace of Swords. Yeah, this person who colluded with you, cutting you off. Whoever this person is, because y'all work like this. Said the Moon in Justice. Secrets being, these secrets about to be dealt with by the DOJ. Ace of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Pentacles. Yes, like there's a lot of grown-up energy right there. Mystic, I know you can't type what you're thinking because that looks like group activities with adults. Oh, look at the people in here talking about Tissa is garbage. Well, whoever it is that owes her money after all of this is said and done, baby, they gonna make sure that she shine better and brighter than a brand new penny. They should have left that woman alone. Just because you don't agree with her don't mean she should have been treated that way. And the Rotten Mangoes lady either. Can you imagine 8 hotel rooms and people keep finding you? How? Says 6 of Swords and the Justice. Yeah, this person, they should have just left this toxic stuff behind, but they're gonna actually face a lot of karma for this. Seven of Swords to the Emperor. Someone being sneaky on behalf of a very powerful man. Said, and Tissa is very intelligent. She's not letting this go. No, and she shouldn't. Said, of trying to run off with the bag. Said, and he pointed to her in court. Said, I know you on camera. That can all be seen as threatening. That could all be seen as threatening. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. Said people have private investigators and people, YouTubers working under them. Allegedly. That's what it looks like. It looks like a whole team of people colluding together that are about to be exposed. So, we definitely in a rabbit hole here, y'all. So you and Tissa are both on live. I got her on my phone and you on my TV. Well, tell Tissa she gonna be all right, because it looks like the DOJ ain't playing about what these people said and what they did to her. And that they're gonna be very, very extensive with the way that they look into this. And some of those YouTubers, baby, that comfortable life that you used to live in from these YouTube checks, you might want to find something else to do. Said, you know what's funny? Said Ratchet is always into it with the woman, allegedly. Well, we see what his history is with women. Said, Angel, you said this a few weeks ago about YouTubers. Crazy how this is coming into fruition. Said, you know what's funny is they come on these platforms and brag. Said, I'm going to tell her about your channel. She does cards too. Well, tell her I said that she's going to be okay, that there's going to be a very extensive investigation, and some YouTubers are definitely going to have a horrible rest of the year because of what they did. Ratchet's going to wish he never got involved in this. Said, just got the Page of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, and I know the pages can be children. I told you this is a mother. And that's also saying that she should have went in a new direction. This woman who's financially stable, who, you know, is haughty and thinks that, you know, she can move a certain way because she has a certain level of clout. Baby, clout. It could be here today and gone tomorrow. You don't know. He said, you have a good night. I give my deepest condolences. Thank you, Miss D. Yeah, y'all tell Tissa she's gonna be safe. But I do see some YouTubers losing some pages, having some legal problems, being under investigation. And this is going to be very extensive. People are going to be surprised when they start getting these phone calls from the authorities and possibly being served. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here, y'all. I love y'all. Be safe. And if you are a Diddy sympathizer that's worried about going broke, stay your happy ass off my page. Here we go. You said last pull, the devil, the Page of Pentacles to the Page of Swords. See what I'm talking about? Evil, maleficent energy. Someone that is obsessive and compulsive that took a business opportunity to to do something that was going to be seen in front of everybody, possibly on video. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Everybody that's in membership, I will see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And y'all, keep your popcorn because we're about to see all types of stuff pop off throughout, I want to say, all the way up until possibly Labor Day. The Lionsgate portal is going to do some interesting things. This retrograde through the Lionsgate portal, baby. All I can say is folks need to keep their hands clean. Stop taking these deals with the devil. And understand that having, a certain social standing and having a couple dollars in your pocket is not enough to put yourself in harm's way to be involved in things like this. Oh, hey, Honey Lot, thank you. My Cash App is the same name as the channel. It's $ Angel Kisses the Oracle. Y'all, I'm going to go get me a glass of wine so that I can wind down. Because that heifer really tried it coming over here with that fake page. How dare you? Said, did you read the energy? What the energy will be like for October 3rd for his sentencing? If y'all want me to, I'll tap in on another live. I need to cleanse my energy. I need to get that dusty bum bitch off of me, okay? That designer bum. I need to get her energy off of me. So, I thank y'all so much. Have a wonderful evening. And like I said, y'all tell Tissa she'll be fine. And this investigation, it's about to be very thorough. These people should have never played these games. They should have never played these games. Good night, y'all.